What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, and this is my honest review for Space Marine 2. Okay, right up front, this is by far one of my favorite games that's come out in all of 2024. It's gory, it's glorious, and it brings honor to the great Emperor. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Warhammer 40k. I mean, I've played a couple of the games, I understand the lore a bit, I've read some of the books, but in general, when it comes to Warhammer stuff, I just want it to be glorious. I want it to just be an incredibly fun adventure, and I can say right up front, Space Marine 2 is the best Warhammer game I've ever played because it's just so ridiculous. But let's break down the goods and the bads and talk about the multiplayer because every aspect of this is definitely worth that $70 price tag. But let's begin. Hi, I'm Max. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So this is very off the cuff because, to be clear, this was an incredibly fun game to beat. It's about 12 hours long, and then it unlocks this big wave-based extra mission mode, but let's start with how it plays and why it is we're going on this intergalactic killing spree. So we're playing as Titus. This guy is an Ultramarine. He's basically a soldier that's sent into the most impossible missions possible. He is genetically altered and augmented to the gills, meaning that not only is he practically invincible, but he is made to be sent as a one-man army into just the most disgusting pits of hell. But this time we're not alone. We're accompanied by two battle brothers, Chairon and Gadriel. Now, throughout the course of this, they definitely have a lot of storyline moments where they bicker and fight and actually talk about the Emperor and the universe. But what I actually enjoyed most about this game, just the world of it, is how well it actually sells you on why this fight is epic. There were times where I'm just walking and the HUD shuts off and it gives you a chance to catch your breath and watch burning bodies or the normal human soldiers literally kneeling to you and praying to you as these like evil archangels of the battlefield. There is an immense amount of world building between the carnage that I feel like actually adds to the incredibly fun combat, but let's talk about that fighting. When you're an Ultramarine, it's more than just being good in a fight. It's being the deadliest creature in the universe. It's being able to use different weapons from chainsaw swords to special electrified sabers to pistols to fire launchers to everything in between. But what's cool about this is as you progress through the game, fun is definitely the primary focus. Like every single time you enter a new area, there's just gun racks with tons of different weapons that are fun to pick up and test out, from sniper rifles to Gatling guns. And more than anything else, it just feels so good to kill stuff. Like whenever you're hitting people, the goal is to try and mow people down. If you press the melee button, you can do a series of small attacks and a charged up big attack. If you hit a bigger foe, it can almost sort of detonate, creating this tiny shock wave. If you hit people enough or shoot people enough, a lot of enemies can get these special melee takedowns. Now, Titus, being an Ultramarine and being so chocked to the gills with extra delicious steroids, this dude is able to take a pounding, but he's not invincible. You have a health bar and this extra bar that's like your armor. Armor instantly regrows. As soon as you stop being completely wrecked by enemy fire, your armor grows back pretty quick, whereas health, it requires you to use an injection like a health stem or do one of these delicious takedowns. So when you're in fights, it's a matter of using your entire arsenal. It's a matter of actually shooting people, switching to your pistol. If you do a heavy attack and it lands, you can trigger this instant pistol shot that does critical damage 100% of the time and then ending with a takedown. But the extra part of this that I think is just so incredibly fun is the parry system. So They call it the parry system, but it's not typically the way parries work in video games, in that if you're playing something like Dark Souls or even other action-y games, parry is a way of pushing a single hit aside. Instead, if you see this glowy blue blink, if you press the parry button, you'll instantly do a delicious takedown where a lot of times you Doom-style rip somebody's spine out and stuff like that. I like this game because everything around you is constantly ridiculously chaotic. I mean, every single time there's just hundreds of bugs or chaos marines or just so much going good and going bad. So I played this entirely single player because I'm beating it way before the game came out. You can play this co-op. I want to replay the game right now on co-op. I mean, I had that much fun. I just played 15 hours of it, 12 of the main campaign, 3 hours of the new wave horde mode thing we're going to talk about in a bit. And every single second, my jaw was on the floor. Every boss fight, every encounter, everything feels so good because even when I am making mistakes and getting downed, my AI partners would pick me up with a witty quip about how bad I am at my job. You see, Titus, he has been alive for 200 years. This man has been at the forefront of the galactic war against aliens and Terminids and weirdness and dark gods longer than freaking anything. Okay, I'm sorry I'm getting so hyped. This game is so ridiculously fun. There was a moment where I picked up a flamethrower and I was trying to hack a door. And while I was doing this, suddenly the lights go out. Of course, oh no. And there were hundreds and hundreds of foes trying to hunt me in the darkness, and the only way I could see was by pulling the trigger on that flamethrower. And it was just so cool to watch this crazy, spooky epicness while trying to live. They give you so many grenades and bombs and options and ammo boxes everywhere, because I sometimes feel like games are trying to be cool and be artsy, and they forget to be fun. This is art. It is awesome to see, but additionally, I'm just blown away by the fact that it just feels like dudes rock the video game. Now, let's talk about the multiplayer modes. I did not get a chance to fully test these out because obviously the game isn't out. I can't really just queue up. I think the servers aren't even technically live. But the way this works is that after you beat the main game and Titus saves the universe or whatever happens, you're able to play as different Ultramarines. Now, these random Marines that you get a chance to be come in 6 separate classes. There's Tactical, Assault, Vanguard, Bulwark, Sniper, and Heavy. Now, the way these guys work is that they essentially have these default weapons, whereas Titus is able to pick up anything he finds on the ground and turn it into a weapon. These guys have a set loadout. You'll have either a Gatling gun or a shield or extra special shotguns and stuff like that. So because of it, when you pick it, you and your friends actually have to coordinate and figure out which class you want to try, which ones you think would be interesting, because not only do they have abilities that Titus doesn't have, like deploying shields or dropping battle standards to boost enemy health, they can tag enemy locations in a way that I haven't seen in the single player mode. But what's cool about this is that these level up. By doing these missions, you actually get extra skills, extra cosmetics, this perk system. There's 25 different perks that actually change different variations to your gameplay skills. This is the kind of thing that I have barely scratched the surface of because, I don't want to do this by myself. I want to play this with other people. But this has got to be the first time this year where I've put 15 hours into a game and I immediately am just counting the seconds till it comes out so that you guys can kick my ass. Because not only is there that endless replayability cool mission mode called Operations, there's also PvP, 6v6 multiplayer that allows you to actually go against other people. These modes are called Annihilation, Siege Grounds, Capture and Control, and I haven't even had a chance to play those. This game is badass. I try not to cuss in these videos because I don't want to get demonetized, but This game is badass. I don't think anybody's shocked by this. I have to say the only complaint I have, literally, and I'm not even going to take any points off it, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. Let me just say that. I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. The one tiny gripe I have is one of the kinds of aliens is able to do this effect that blurs your screen, and personally, I just hate that. Some games have like an accessibility option where you can turn off screen blur, but for this one, for some reason, I can't. But even still, holy heck. Every part of this, from crazy takedowns to times where you see a giant monster ripping down a door to chase you in circles, or hacking a panel before your airship gets blown up by freaking intergalactic monsters. I am rambling because I loved this game. I loved it. I want so much more in the Space Marine universe. There has been so much goodness from Warhammer recently, and I feel like the highest compliment I can give this game is that it gets me interested in the universe. This was so epic. It was so insane. It was so freaking disgusting during some of the freaking fights I was in. I want to pick up a book from Horus Legacy or something and actually read more about the origins of Ultramarines. Oh my god, if you're watching this video because you're wondering, is it worth the price? Yes, a million times yes. And if you see me online, my name is DreamcastGuy. Feel free to kick my ass and freaking twerk on my body because I'm ready to die for the Emperor. But what do you guys think about this? Are you excited for Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2? Please tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And please keep dreaming. Oh my god, what a good time. I'm literally grinning from ear to ear. I'm sorry I'm rambling in this video. I took some notes, but I had so much freaking fun. I wanted to just yell about how fun this was. Dang. Oh my god. I love my job, man. I can't believe I get to play games like this. Oh my god, I love my job. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.